I totally support the veganism thing, but I'm against that imposing those things. You should not be imposing or like making new laws to ban beef. I will not support that, but I will.
But we should be banning animal abuse, but just not when it's for food.
In the food, I will say in any form, we should be banning animal abuse.
How do we take the life of a cow without abusing them and robbing them of their existence?
I have not thought about that thing. Okay, so no comments on that.
Hi, this is Sheena, and today I'm here with Kumar, and Kumar saw my sign, 3 questions for animal lovers, and has agreed to sit down and have a chat.
Yeah, sure. Nice to meet you, Sheena.
Yeah, nice to meet you. So you ready to get started?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
The first question is, are you an animal lover?
Yes, I am.
So what do you think about animal abuse or people that abuse animals?
Well, I have not thought about it. On the street dogs, like, they are being treated badly. And we need to do something like we could accommodate them, or like government should make some, you could say, available place, or you can say, just so that they could be peacefully living there.
Yeah, so you mean for dogs and cats to be able to make sure that they're safe?
Yeah, and also other wild animals, like nowadays forests are decreasing, so we need to be conscious of those things, like we need to be conscious of environment also, and animals, obviously animals.
And how about farm animals?
Farm animals, well, I suppose farm animals are good because they are overall they are there for humans use, or like I suppose it can be minimized, but in long run, I will say you should be going in vegetarian mode.
So when I talk about animal abuse, I'm talking about things that humans would do to animals that is, unnecessary. So things like, say, if I have a dog and I'm a dog breeder, and one of the dog litter is a runt. They call the smallest dog is usually the runt of the litter. Or there's a dog that's sick, part of the litter that's sick. So I take them by their back legs and I smash them against the ground until they're dead. Would you consider that animal abuse?
Yeah, obviously that is animal abuse. I've not seen those, but I suppose it's bad.
So say I have a cow and I want to drink the cow's milk, but the baby wants to drink the cow's milk. Right. So I don't want the baby to drink the cow's milk, and I have no use for the baby cow, so I take a bolt gun and I kill them. I shoot them in the head when they're 1 day old, 2 days old, 3 days old. Would you consider that animal abuse?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, I don't think that happens normally, but that is bad, and that should not be happening, and that should not be done.
That kind of brings me to the third question.
Okay.
Are there any industries where you pay for animals to be abused? And by that I mean, do you consume meat, dairy, eggs, and fish?
Right, I consume meat, all of those things you have mentioned, but I suppose our rules, regulations are there, which should be, which restricts people to abuse animals, but I suppose it should be strengthened.
So you think we should do it differently and do it less, or do you think we should cut it out altogether?
Well, cutting out altogether will not benefit anyone.
Are you sure there's not somebody that it would benefit?
I suppose over time, we should be reducing meat consumption. I will say, we should go vegetarian.
So you made some really good points there. So the first one is you mentioned vegetarianism. Vegetarianism still exploits cows and chickens. Cows for dairy and chickens for eggs. So what I'm advocating for is animal rights in the form of veganism, because veganism is the only lifestyle that seeks to exclude animal exploitation and animal abuse as much as practicable and possible. What do you think about that?
Well, I have no more comments on veganism, but I will say on the cow, like in low-income countries, cows are like a bull or cow, an animal who, they are source of income for them. They sell milk and they earn from them, and taking back from those animals from those people will not be good for them.
How about for you here? Do you have a cow in Toronto?
No, I don't have any cow in Toronto.
So the examples that I gave you before, of a baby animal being taken by their back legs and smashed against the ground until they were dead. This is what happens in the pork industry. So when a baby pig is born and they are the runts of the litter, or they're a little bit sick, or they know they're not going to grow fast enough or healthy enough, they're taken by their back legs and they're smashed against the ground until they're dead. It's called blunt force trauma. What do you think about that?
Oh, that's really bad.
The other example I gave you is in the dairy industry. When do you know why a mother cow produces milk?
For their babies.
So you know why a cow produces milk, you said, because she's had a baby.
Right.
Do you know what happens to her babies so we can drink their milk?
No, I don't know.
So the girls are taken away straight away, and they're put in little solitary hutches away from their mother so we can drink the milk. Do you know what happens to the boys?
No, I don't know.
So the boys don't produce milk themselves because they're male. They're very expensive for a farmer to raise for beef. I know in India costs something like 150, 200 rupees a day for a farmer to raise a cow. So all the boys that are born into the dairy industry, between 1 and 3 days old maybe, they will be killed when they're born. What do you think about that?
Oh, when they are born, that's really bad. Not be doing those things, but as I said before, people wants to eat meat, and they it's their lifestyle. So I'm not against that, but I will say, we should not be killing baby cows, or like farmers should not be killing. If they are doing so, then government should like subsidize them to take them, or like give them better accommodation to grow, or like put them on in the forest area, or like where they can grow themselves.
So it's very much a supply and demand industry.
Oh yeah,
Right? It's led by the consumer. So when we demand these products, they have to produce them in some way. And especially in countries like India, where the demand for dairy is so high, something has to happen to those cows when they're done producing milk.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I have seen that most of the cows, when they stop producing milk, they are left on the streets. So yeah, and I suppose Indian government should do something, or like bring some new policies, or if the animals, or like cows are in big cities, then they should be transferred to a new place, or like government should be making some investment in that area.
You know, in India, we often think that because we see so many street cows, on average there's about 5 million street cows in India, but the dairy herd is closer to 400 million.
Yes.
Right? So what people don't see is that when the dairy cows, when they're done producing milk, when their bodies have dried up with the milk supply, when they're only about 5, maybe 6 years old, all of them will be sent to one of the 7 states where it is legal to kill cows, or they will be trucked to Bangladesh where it is legal to kill cows. Very few will be put out to the streets. 5 million street cows, almost 400 million dairy cows. What do you think happens to those dairy cows?
I don't know, man.
Did you know that India is the second largest exporter of beef?
Beef, right? I know.
Why do you think that exists, the beef industry?
Because people consume beef, and we have lots of people who use beef, and I will also say that that's easy to buy, or like it's cheap. Yeah, I will say it's cheap. That's why people eat beef.
So where do you think those beef cows come from?
Obviously, those cows being like transported from different places to being, transported from different places or different states.
So there's no real actual raising of cows, particularly specifically for beef in India. The beef industry exists because of the spent dairy cows.
Maybe, that makes sense. Yeah, right.
So do you think it also makes dairy consumers culpable for the killing of cows when we are consuming the dairy of cows, and those dairy cows are eventually being killed for beef?
Well, I will not blame the consumer, but I will blame the state police.
Which one do you think is easier to do? To lobby the government to tighten the rules around what they're going to do with all the stray cows and all the dairy herd, and providing gaushala or shelter for all the cows? Or do you think it's easier for us to not consume these products and vote with our dollars?
Oh, So on a personal basis, I will say we should be. I should be reducing the consumption of meat, but on the authority side or like on the government side, I will say we should not be killing any animals, like if they are baby girl or boy, or like bull or anything.
Unfortunately, that is the reality of the industry.
Yeah. So yeah, I understand.
So you mentioned in the beginning that you are against animal abuse,
Right.
but now you're saying to reduce the amount that we're abusing.
We should be as a conscious person or like a conscious human being, we should be reducing the meat consumption as soon as possible, or like as much we can do. But
And for you, what would hold you back from being vegan living here in Toronto?
oh, so yeah, that's a good question. So, well, I have not tried any vegan products, but
Why not?
why not? But I could say, why not?
Would you consider your taste pleasure to be more important than the life of an animal?
Well, I'm against the killing of animals. So yeah, I have been trying to be more vegetarianism. I suppose in future that's the best option. I should be going, or I will think about it. Okay, and yeah, I will I will think about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, and also yeah, I've been increasing the vegetarian food. So it's
So just wanted to make one point very clear. Vegetarians still kills cows and chickens. Chickens still get killed when you eat eggs, and cows still, the baby male cows and the mother cow will still be killed when you consume dairy. So vegetarian and veganism are very, very different things.
Right. So yeah, on my personal note, I will say I will be moving towards veganism in future soon. I hope I could do that, and also yeah, it will be good change, I suppose. And
Would you be willing to take some resources if I gave you some films and documentaries to watch?
yeah, sure, why not? I will be reducing my meat consumption. Yeah.
So one thing about reducing, last thing. So about something about reducing is with any injustice, yeah, what animals go through. So they have their one and only lives, and their life is as important to them as your life is to you.
Okay.
So when we're reducing, say if it was another injustice like child abuse, if I said to you, I'm going to reduce, I cannot stop fully, but I will reduce the amount I abuse children. I will not abuse children Monday to Friday, but on the weekend, I'm still going to abuse children. How would that make me sound?
Well, I don't think that's a comparable example, but children's are out of the book. But
Why? If they are also victims and innocent victims, like an animal is.
I agree with that. But with animals, or like it's been a generational thing, or yeah, as I said before, people have been using or like eating meat for their. They love it, man. You can't. I totally support the veganism thing, but I'm against that imposing those things. You should not be imposing or like making new laws to ban beef. I will not support that, but I will.
But we should be banning animal abuse, but just not when it's for food.
In the food, no, I will say in any form, we should be banning animal abuse.
How do we take the life of a cow without abusing them and robbing them of their existence?
I have not thought about that thing. Okay, so no comments on that.
I ask these questions because I myself, there's no judgment here. I myself ate every animal and every byproduct until I was 42. Yeah. So these are questions that somebody asked me, and I just thought, I actually don't have any reason why I'm doing it.
In coming future, we could do those things like improving the livestock or improving the farms, so that the minimal abuse of the animals are being done. And
what is a good amount of abuse?
No,
what is an acceptable amount of abuse?
no, there is no acceptable amount of abuse for the animals.
Do you have any questions for me?
So, are you vegan at this moment? Or
I am now, but I wasn't for 42 years.
okay, so how long you have been?
4 years.
4 years.
Almost 4 years.
That's great. That's great. And can you give me some examples of vegan products?
Give me an example. What's your favorite thing to eat that contains animal?
Oh, that's kind of animals. So, yeah, mostly like chickens.
In Toronto, we have very good vegan chicken options. Even things in places like Loblaws, you can get the PC brand. There's many different brands of vegan chicken, and when you cook it in an Indian way, it's very hard to tell the difference. But you know that slight difference in taste, it's like what's worth more, that slight difference in taste or the life of an animal?
Life of an animal. Yeah, yeah. That's totally right, man.
That was awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank you
you're
so much.
welcome.
That was amazing.